Here I am with a carpinator, and if you want real truth, this is one of the fellas he got this morning. Look at that. Found him, killed him. Between 500,000 to 2 million tonnes of these things, these fish, these Cyprinus carpio, are going to make their way to the surface of the water where fishing clubs are going to pick them up for us and bury them.
Yeah, look, that's right.
When you look back through the history books, you see in places like Echuca in the 1920s, the average catch of native fish per hour for recreational fishers was 18 to 22 kilos. Hands up at the recreational fishers in here, the last time you went for a 1 hour fishing trip, caught 18 to 22 kilos of native fish. Back in the 1920s, you could catch 20 kilos of native fish in an average hour of fishing. These days you couldn't do that in a week. In May this year, this sort of media started to come out. This was about a fishing competition in Lake Bonny where 500 recreational fishers fishing for 9 hours caught 16,000 carp. This little girl with a bit of fishing line tied to a stick caught 60 by herself. We spoke to irrigators who complained that they couldn't turn their pumps on because they would quickly clog with juvenile carp. What you can see is an ecosystem-wide shift that starts with the fact that carp make the water muddy.
Just ask there, I'm old enough to remember being able to see the bottom of the Murray River. So with this remaining carp, will that actually make it look fresh and clean like it used to?
You so are not that old, Senator Gallagher.
I used to swim in the Murray and you could see the bottom.
If I can say, Senator, that's a really interesting point. Everywhere we go in our public consultation, we speak with people that remember what our rivers used to look like, that they did used to be clear. What we know from research that's been done, Australian research, is that carp numbers seem to reach a threshold where they suddenly start to impact on the ecosystem primarily through making the water turbid. So if we can reduce carp numbers to below that threshold, there's a very real expectation that we will see increasing clarity. And in fact, in places like Taru wetland in Western Australia, a big wetland where they successfully removed carp from that wetland, the change in turbidity, the clarity was dramatic.
Oh, well, bring it on, Isa.
What are our rivers, what are our fisheries going to look like? Well, this is an example in Western New South Wales called Taru wetland. This place had a real carp problem. As you can see, the water looks like Milo. They waited until an opportunity when that wetland was going to drain. They put a screen on the inlet of that wetland so the carp couldn't get back in, and then they filled it again. And it looked like this.
Here is an example from Western New South Wales called Taru wetland. This is with high abundance of carp, and this is with adult carp numbers dramatically reduced. I'm not sure if you can see that in that slide, but that's a dramatic change in water quality, and you can actually see the snags on the bottom of the waterway.